Welcome to the first episode of the podcast. There is really no introduction to this because we decided to do this last minute, and basically how this happened is Lee wanted me to record how 6B bots their server, and then we ended up discussing about this and decided to get all these videos we recorded and just make it into one big podcast. So this is the first episode, and enjoy.
He will not leave us alone. He is obsessed with AJT. He is so desperately trying to steal my clout because he has probably nothing else going on in his life. I've been doing this for 8 fucking years, man. And through those 8 years, I've ran 3 massive, huge servers that all went over 200 players. And I know how a big Anarchy server is supposed to look, how the chat moves, how the players talk, how they behave. Spanish, English, doesn't matter the demographic. I've had both. So, this is a dead giveaway. It's a botted server. At this point, you're wasting your time playing it. It's gonna fucking shut down. Just wait for it, guys. It's gonna shut down. Okay?
So either way, if there is people on, you would be guaranteed a reply from someone.
Like, yeah, with 111 people on, supposedly, you'd be guaranteed a reply.
Well, yeah, because when the server's active, I play on an alt sometimes, and I ask people to PvP and shit. They reply. On 6B, I sent it 5 times, and I've gotten no reply. None. Only one player replied to me.
That's the giveaway right there. You can be on my server with less players and ask people to PvP, and you'll actually get PvP. But on his server, you can ask it with 111 players on, supposedly, and you won't get a single person.
On 8B, you could, because I've done this before, to troll players. I made alts, saying TPA for free kits, and I would get so much TPAs. This was during the summer when the server had 120 on. I got so much TPA requests from people. I literally did that on 6B. I did it on 6B. No one, except one player, TPA'd me. With that amount of players on, yeah, I've even done that same thing on 8B. With 60, 50 players, I've always gotten 3 or 5 people replying. On 6B, I only got one person, that was it. He's not trying to hide it anymore. It's just obvious. He puts those bots on just to try to piss us off. But in reality it just makes him look like a clown. And it doesn't make him look good. And we'll put those screenshots up of people from the South C1 Discord calling him a swatter. Yeah, it's funny.
He's the puppet master. He won't do it directly himself, but he has all these people that he has around him in his circle that do his bidding for him. That's why all his players are always in my Discord leaving reactions to just psychologically mess with me. That's what his strategy is. It's to just try and drive me out of here because he wants me gone, because he wants to steal my thunder, and he's never gonna get it. And I don't really have any thunder. I'm just saying, look at his server. It's a carbon copy of my server that I've been running for 8 years, man. It's not a carbon copy. It's a monetized. It's like a corporatized version of it because it's a profit scheme that he has going there. But it's essentially my server. It's made to pretend to be my server with my domain names. One of which he fucking bought from someone who stole it from me. And he's violating my copyright. And nobody's gonna help me. I have to sit here and fucking deal with this asshole who bought the server, DDoSes my server, and sends this fucking idiot into my Discord to fucking leave gay pride flags and "you're broke" on my fucking announcements when I ask for a donation for a $16 VPS because I'm broke. While he's over there profiting off people's mom's credit card and faking his player count doing stuff to attack other Minecraft servers in the same server space because he wants to be the biggest. His goal is to try and beat 2B2T. That's why he's doing it. That's how big his ego is, guys.
It's just like the thing where, like, basically playing like basically how you were saying earlier, like 2Q Pasty. All of his players are literally, they're just numbers to him. That's all it is, and I've known this because I've worked with him in the past. He hates Spanish players. He literally hates them. And he said to me one time that Spanish players don't even deserve a server to play on. To him, this is just a business. Like it's just a business to him. All of his players are just numbers to him. It's just another dollar to him. It's like the difference is like either you support the big corporation, which he's trying to be, he's not even one, or you support the small local business. And he's just doing this just for money. It's literally what it is, just for extra cash. You know, he's running this at a loss. He can try to go all corporate mode he wants, and he's not gonna earn anything. He's been trying to do this for the past 3 to 4 years now, trying to, you know, turn this anarchy into a business by buying these domains, selling them. He had this Discord server where he basically wanted to rent out domains to people, which was basically just a huge scam because let's say you were late on your payment. He would take your domain, take everything from you without notice. It was just a huge scam. 6B, before it was made, which I haven't really talked about this much, but before it was made, it was literally just, he had the domain, he wasn't doing anything with it, and he had the domain just for his hosting company he was working on back then, Blockhost. He wanted to bring back 6B just as a testing grounds for Blockhost. That's literally all it was for. And he planned to shut it down. But since, you know, you had all of his beat writers, you know, he kept the server up. But all that server it was just a giant test server so he could get Horizon, Salsy1, all these other YouTubers to get on this server and try to do his 1,000-player test, which, you know, ended up failing. Like, you know, I could pull up videos of this, that one, you remember that Salsy1 stream?
Yeah, dude. You could take, so when 18, remember when Fast Vincent 1 did the invasion of my server? I'm not gonna lie, that was right before I decided to flip my server around. The Fast Vincent 1 stream when my server got crashed by his fucking minions.
Yeah.
On stream. I decided that day I'm fucking changing my server for the better, and I 1 year later, after doing the Folia upgrade, I'm telling you right now, from a technical perspective, I know his server is incapable of handling more than maybe 300 players max. Because the code that runs on his server is just straight dog shit. Like, okay? 8B is custom coded from scratch by really good Java developers that know what they're doing. His server is coded by dummies that don't know what they're doing. And it's a monstrosity. It's a spaghetti monster of code. 8B is essentially all in one plugin called 8B8T Core that's on GitHub. Okay? He doesn't do stuff like that. He just takes other people's code and other people's stuff and combines it to make it work for him. That's what he does.
Yeah, I mean...
And remember when Horizon did join this thing? Didn't the 1,000-player test fucking fail?
Failed. His server was super laggy. According to him, it was a huge success when you literally had players that couldn't join the server at all. People could not join. It was impossible to join because of also their super strict DDoS protection measures. If you refresh your server list way too many times you couldn't join. You were basically unable to join. And literally people in his Discord were flaming him for it. They were making fun of him because he thought he was so prepared when the entire thing was just a huge failure. It was a big joke. That's all it was. And even Horizon, which was obviously paid by Cubasty, he was trying to flame him. You could tell, but he couldn't because he was paid. But everyone knows that whole thing was just a giant flop, and no one talks about it anymore. They're all trying to just keep it under the rug when that's how a server runs. It runs like shit. He does not know how to optimize his server. I remember when that live stream happened. So before that live stream, the TPS on a server, you were able to view it on a tab list. And before that live stream went up, he hid the he deleted his entire tab list. So you couldn't see how the server was performing at all. So no one had any idea how the server was performing at all. They wouldn't give that information. So, 6B, Cubasty, he's had a history of trying to hide things. Like, just put it under a rug. And,
my server is always very open. I overshare on purpose because I don't want to be a shady character, okay?
Look, you can see the plugins list. And I don't have op. I don't have op. Plugin list. Can you do that on 6B? And look, players talking right here. Can you do that on 6B? You can't. He loves trying to hide everything he does because of his shady tactics. I even had the option to work with him on 6B.
Person that you're still recording, right?
I am, yeah.
Okay, good. This is the person that has, he has all your IP addresses, okay? And he blocks VPNs on his server. This person runs a popular Minecraft server that hundreds of people join and know about. And he does these shady things, and he has their IP addresses, probably passwords for accounts as well, because some people are stupid and use the same password for everything. And you trust this shady character with that information. And kids play them. And also, he doesn't do anything about the actual pedophiles on his server.
He lets them roam free because, at the end of the day, they end up donating to his server, making him money. Because it's just a huge business to him. It's not. You're making a minimum
He's basically taken what Anarchy used to be and turned it into... He's basically made... there's a really good analogy for this. But, how McDonald's started out? Have you ever watched The Founder?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, how McDonald's started out was like some this restaurant by two brothers, right?
Yeah.
And then it became this massive corporate fucking giant. That's essentially what his server is. That's what Anarchy has become. Now, not all of it, but all the other servers are just slowly dying because they haven't been able to move forward with Folia for some whatever reason. I keep trying to message the owner of 5B or N0B. Let me help you upgrade to Folia. That's why I made 8B18 Core, because I foreseen this happening where there's essentially just a monopoly of a few big Anarchy servers and all the other small ones die off. And I don't want to see that. It's supposed to be like there's many different servers, and whichever one you prefer, you play it. That's how it's supposed to be. And some may be bigger than the other. That's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not supposed to be one giant fucking single server that either you play 2B2T or you play 6B16. But then again, we just essentially proved that his server is a lie. So...
Yeah. 4 years ago.
So... But here's how you know it's bots. he just proved the bot part, right? But during the daytime, when his real players are on, that's why he gets over 200 players every day now. So he probably does legitimately peak over 100 players every day. But think about it. Those people are being they're playing a server of a person who does this kind of stuff and tax other servers.
And well, here's the thing: 4 years ago, today, you had the option of so many servers to choose from. You know, if you didn't like a certain server, you know, there was you could go on and play one. As soon as 6B started rolling around, all these servers started getting killed off because, you know, these owners, they realized, why should I be running a server when this guy's taking all my players? So they let their domains expire, and you have CubeASD buying these domains. So if they want to end up, you know, restarting their server again, they can't because their domain's stolen, and this guy's offering like what, $500 just so you can get your domain that you worked hard for. And this guy just takes all your players. So, you know, to these people, you know, there's no point of running one when you have this one guy trying to, you know, monopolize anarchy. And, you know, and I said this years ago that this was gonna happen. If he kept doing this, it was gonna happen, and it's happening right now. And if he keeps going, it's just gonna get worse, worse and worse. There's not gonna be another server to play on.
Well,
I mean, Constantium and all those older ones will stay, but, you know, the other options that people have had, they're eventually just gonna go away.
Yeah, it's gonna be a few big, like, servers. Like my server, obviously, I'm not getting rid of it. Constantium, and I guess his server. That's it. Depending on how long he's willing to hold out. I'm in it for the long haul. Okay, I've been here 8 years. I could do another 8.
I made the decision, since, you know, I'm not gonna get rid 2b2t.es. I'm not getting rid of it, even with the low player count it gets, because, you know, anarchy has changed. I'm not getting rid of it.
To all my old players who are still mad at me about something that happened over 4 years ago at this point, okay? The map is over 4 years old now. I've broken my cycle. Come back.
Server's the exact same.
I'm being lied to by CubeASD. I'm not the piece of shit that he leads me out to be. Okay? I overshare, I'm over honest, because I don't want to have anything to hide. I don't have anything to hide. He's recently had one of our staff inside us, and he probably paid them a lot of money to do it, which is so funny. But there's nothing going on in our, like, we're not plotting against him. We don't care. We're making we're just gonna make exposed videos, that's it. That's all we're doing, because what else can we do? Nobody's trying to help us. We tried to get in contact with Celsius One many times about fucking, go make a video with fucking Super Trooper on his server already, you fucking goof. Fucking do something about it already. Do you not see how he's making anarchy into fucking Hypixel? Like, do something, man. Stop dick riding Curtis, Rusher's friend, who runs 2b2t. Like, nobody cares if it's old. There's other servers that are old now, and we need your help, okay? So fucking help us. My server's fucking 8 years old, and I'm being attacked 24/7 by this fucking guy. And it's annoying. Nobody does anything. You're supposed to be, like, the fucking, like, you know, use your fucking platform responsibly, right? So how would you help a community of people who don't like to play PvP because we don't like PvP? We like playing other servers. I don't like fucking PvP. My type of anarchy, my style of anarchy is different. Like non-vanilla. I like fucking illegal items, 32K. I like PPA and home. I don't like PvP. I'm not a grind person. I'm not a grind video game person, okay? Different type of server, but it's also anarchy. That's the whole point of it.
No, I remember what you said years ago, like, your server isn't a hard server. It's supposed to be easy.
It's supposed to be easy, exactly, because Like, it's hard, like, on my server, it's harder to hide a base. It's harder to hide a base because everybody has everything and they're gonna fucking probably coordinate and exploit you. It's supposed to be quick fun. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not meant to be a grindy server. Although right now I did disable a bunch of dupes because you have to do that every once in a while because it will get boring for some people. So you do. You go a couple months, patch all the dupes you can, and it makes the economy a little bit rougher. And some people get mad at you for doing it. Big fucking deal. They'll come back once they find out there's a new dupe.
I mean, and that's how it was during the 6B days. People stayed. The real 6B, by the way.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was. It's essentially the same server. The only reason there were so many map resets is because I was just a stupid kid and I kept getting hacked by dummies. But now I have a great team, okay? And the project is open source. So...
Yeah, I mean, I don't see, like, it's just gonna be, a couple more,
like
maybe a year until...
He's just trying to like, squeeze me out of here because I know he thinks deep down that he got ripped off by me by 7v7t, and yeah, two wrongs don't make a right, but it doesn't matter that I scammed him and didn't give him the 7v7t map, because he literally fucking tried to pay. He literally paid the Troll 2001 $500 fucking to delete my map the day before his server launched. Like, what goes around comes around, Goofy. That's what happens. You punch me in the face, I'm gonna fucking curb stomp you. That's what happens. That's what you get. That's how it goes. And I haven't been doing anything to him for the past fucking couple of years. I've just been waiting it out. I did beat him in the summer though, which was awesome. Dude, 188 players. That was the peak in the summer this year. I'm fucking happy. And it'll be like that next summer, probably more. And you guys gotta remember this. The server, every single time that my server has had the map reset and the name change, I started with a fresh Discord server. I started with a fresh domain name. Cubasty has never done that. He can never do that. He's incapable of doing it. He's living off of my creation, okay?
Off your work.
My work. What I know how to do. I know how to create amazing anarchy experience, okay? That's what I fucking do. /lobby.
Oops. Alright.
Go to the PvP server. This is a prime example. Coded from scratch. Okay? It was also going to be open source, but then I thought, why would I hand Cubasty a really good S-tier PvP server for free? No. So, it's closed source, the PvP server, for now, until he finally takes his fucking L. But it's a very good PvP server, coded from scratch, and this is just in beta. Okay? This is what... Seb, my developer, one of my developers made this, but under my direction. Okay? This is what I do. I know how to make a great server. And he can't stand that. He sucks at running a server, but he's good at the marketing stuff. That's it. That's all he's good at. And you know what? Had he not spent the past 2 years doing that kind of stuff, I would have considered working with him. But he tried to... Basically, he tried to steal like my server out from under me with 70 by using the name 66T, deleting my map right before he launched his server. That's what he did. Because right before he did that, he was trying to start bossing me around, saying you shouldn't do this like that, you shouldn't do that like that. And I'm like, listen, buddy, like you're not the fucking boss around here. So I kicked him out, and then he did that. That's what he did. Like he started to try and make me change the way I run my server, and there's a very specific reason why I run my server the way I run it. Well, it's not a specific reason, but multitude of reasons. I know the best way to run the server, and it's the way I've been running it. Minus the abusive and the mistakes I made when I was a kid, which I don't make anymore. I even brought back the original 6v60. And by the way, I don't even think that was... I think that God gave that map to me. Because that drive, the map that you can see on video, that drive that map was on, it was for sure dead. And it ran... Right now, I'm looking at the screen on my server rack, and I can see that the drive is dead. So, magically, that one day I decided to try and plug that drive in, and it just worked. And now it doesn't work anymore. You know what I mean? It's clear what the message is, okay? And I don't care if you watching this don't believe in Jesus. It's the truth, and you can do whatever you want, deny it. You have to believe in so many coincidences to not believe in him, man. Like, it's a ridiculous amount of coincidences.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, it's a shame people want to play the fake server.
Like, it's just so incredible to me how that hard drive that I knew was dead. Like, I was like, when I plugged it in, I was like, it's dead. I was just doing it just in case. Like, maybe there was a chance. And it worked. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. And when I saw that, it was unbelievable to me. And I immediately started copying the map off. And I brought it back. But that drive is stone cold dead now. I'm looking at the server rack and the monitor, and it's just dead. You can see it says ext4fs error, file system read only, error recounting, cannot find aborted journal. Like, it's a fucking... The drive's dead. So, that's not just a coincidence. I know it's not. And I don't care if you don't believe.
Yeah, and everything's on here. It's not like anything got corrupted. It's all on here. Just like how it was. It's literally like it
the original experience, the original, or you can play the fake, botted clone ripoff. It's like buying. I don't really like Coke the brand. It was a good brand. It's like buying Russian McDonald's instead of McDonald's. Like, it's like that. It's like, you want the fucking real deal, or you want to go and get moldy buns?
Yeah. And I played this 6v during 2019, and from a player's view, this is exactly like how it was. And the troll can confirm, and a couple other players who tried the server before we put it out again. It's exactly like how it was. I logged in, all of my kits were on here, everything. Like, left like how it was 4 or 5 years ago before this map shut down. Which was like before COVID started. This is when this map was gone. It's crazy, but people wanna, instead of playing this map that's been around longer, they wanna play their fake server with all their all those expensive ranks, when all the owner cares about is just money. They don't care about actually operating the server or improving it. And it's proven by how he's had this built by bit listing for like 8 months now. He's just he recently taken it down, after we called him out for it. He took it down a couple weeks ago, but there's still a screenshot of it.
And keep in mind, the only reason that we're even saying anything about him and talking about this is because he just doesn't leave us alone. Like, leave me the fuck alone, man. Go find your own unique space instead of ripping me off. Okay? You suck at running a server. You suck at it. And your team is a bunch of fucking furry, child molesting fucking pedophiles.
And for those watching, we've been saying this, if you thought Piston Master left 6B, you're wrong. Because he's still actively developing for them. I've literally seen him on 6B. And the only reason he left, he was forced to leave because of all the allegations against him, but Cubase still needs him. So he's still working for him in the background. He's still working for him. And he could try to hide it all he wants and deny it, but he's still working for them. He's still a higher up. And he's still in charge of making all the decisions, like he's always been. He's just not in the public face anymore, because it makes him look bad. He wants to, attempt to preserve his image. But it's been fucked, if you know the truth. It's unlike us, we care what the players think and how we can improve, every aspect of the server. But
we're not just here for money. Like, I'm not even here for money at all. I don't make any money, man. Yeah, sometimes when somebody comes around and gives me a big donation, sure, I'll go splooge and buy something for myself. But you know what? When the server needs a hardware upgrade, I'll buy it out of my own pocket. I don't care. I already did recently, 2 months ago. Brand new 32 core server. Well, not brand new, used, but it's still brand new to me, okay? It's pretty lit. I really like it. It's a really good server. I'm really happy with it. But $700 out of my pocket. Boom. SSDs are like $400 each. I bought 3 of them. I'm in debt for the server, okay? I'm paying a monthly fee on an SSD right now to this day.
And who knows who's funding Cubase?
I don't know who's funding him at this point. It's ridiculous.
Probably has like some investors or some shit who are wasting their money on a server that's earning no profit. There is, some family involved in paying him. His parents are probably, spoon feeding him money.
Man. We're back. Crazy how seriously he takes a fucking Anarchy server. This is supposed to be my hobby, and I'm over here fucking having to fight against some guy. It's supposed to be fun for me, it's not.
Yeah, 4 years ago, this was fun. We all had our servers.
Yep, we all had our big servers. We were happy. We all kind of coexisted together in one Discord server without Cubase, and then he came along and fucked it all up.
Yeah. Like we all helped each other out, and now half of the owners, they all left because of him, because their domains got stolen, and he's hoarding them all for large sums of money. And,
the thing that the 2B2T community, they're like so fucking full of themselves, man. Like, come on, guys. There's a whole other fucking part of the Anarchy community, and you just ignore it because you're fucking meat riding 2B2T. And it's pretty gay, if you ask me.
The funny thing is, like, the 2B2T players now, they've only joined the server, like, up to, like, they've only been playing probably for a couple months. There's not really, like, old players that still sit there and play it anymore. Because they've all grown now. They're all working.
Like, what I'm trying to say, like,
kids now.
People like the 2B2T YouTubers, man. There's content on other servers. You just have to know which ones are the good ones. Do you want to know? I'm going to name them off the top of my head right now. Constantium, apat.me or .net, 2b2t.be, the Bedrock server, 0b0t.org. Let's see, what else? 5b5t.org, 2b2t.es, 2b2t.jp, l2x9.me, 7b7t.net, 6b6t.ca, nextanarchy.xyz. All these servers are fucking great servers ran by people that I know that are also being like pushed down by Cubase, and y'all don't say anything, but you'll make a video with his server at #1 spot, and he's fucking negatively impacting all of us, and we're sick of it. And most of them don't even say anything about it. I'm being the voice for the voiceless. That's what I'm doing. I'm tired of it. He needs to get the fuck out of here. He does not belong here. He's a fucking cancer. He's gonna ruin something that was once a place where I used to have fun. And now it's gonna be just basically my server and me having to constantly combat some fucking L-tard.
Just trying to make this into fucking corporate when that's not what anarchy is.
Like, when the server owners, like, we used to all be in a group chat together and everything, and we were all coexisted, help each other out, and then Cubase came along and he kind of fucked it up. You know? I mean, we had our own dramas, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
It was so funny.
shit.
We all ended up being friends still, right?
Yeah.
Except for JJ, because he's a fucking asshole. Fuck JJ, the owner of 9B. Fuck him. He's an asshole, bro. And he sucks at coding. He codes in Eclipse. He uses Eclipse in 2024. Okay? And Chatco in 2024. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh god.
But anyway, I'm not gonna... JJ's alright, okay? I respect that 9B still is online, okay? But, what was I gonna say? Like, he came in there and it just started, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
we've been doing this for fun, not money. He came in there and you could tell immediately he was just doing it for money and clout.
You know, and I've known Cubase like since the Matrix Anarchy days, and then he just started going around like, you know, his server was like super dead. No one ever played it, so he gave up on it. And then he started seeing the idea of just buying other servers and taking their work as like if he were the one who started it. He has not had one.
This is the thing. The difference between me and Cubase is I create things, he buys things. I create things worth buying, and he buys those things. But this time, I'm not selling it to him.
And
Not that I did last time.
Cubase has not had one server that he's made has popped off. Every single server he's tried has never reached, you know, without him having to buy domains and stuff, a high amount of players. And he's been wanting to do this for a while. He's given up. He started again. This is what he does. He buys one domain. He bought OpenAnarchy.org, Hisparkia. He combined them into one, and that was like the first biggest server he had. And then he basically killed off OpenAnarchy. I don't remember what exactly happened to it. And he killed it off. No one wanted to play it again. So then he bought 6v6t. He had the domain for a while.
It occurred to me, the reason he's botting 6B right now is because he knows it's actively dying.
Yeah.
That's why he's doing it.
And now the thing is, you know, like, yeah, it's hard starting a server from scratch. Because, you know, we were all like that at some point. But, you know, he doesn't even try. His solution is, oh, my server isn't getting more than 5 players. Well, I'm shutting it down. And I'm just going to buy someone else's server. Because I somehow have the money for it. Now, even though look, the reason why he can't get that high amount of players is because he doesn't have the experience. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have like good developers. Like when I started my servers, you know, they were pretty shit and dead. But, you know, eventually, for example, when I got his Sparky, I didn't buy it. It was given to me by this guy who was an idiot. Omega Byte. You remember him?
Omega Byte.
Yeah. So, basically, that server started off started with Mr. Cram and Omega Byte. And they had the crafting dupe enabled. And it started off pretty popular because Cram, you know, promoted his own server. Got like 80 to 100 players in the beginning. But then, what had happened is he removed the dupe, and this is the issue. You can't start a server and have a dupe enabled because the players are going to rely on it. So they realized this was a problem. It was a crafting dupe, the worst dupe you could have. He had the dupe, and the only way you could keep that server popular is if you had that dupe enabled. So he had it. He removed it, and then that server died immediately, and it was dead for months. So then he contacted me, and he was asking me if I were interested in running the server because I had previously I would help him out with plugins and stuff. So I was like the first point of contact, and he asked me if I wanted to take over because you know he didn't have time for it anymore. So I was like, yeah, I'll take over, sure. So I took over the server. It got a minimum of like 7 to 10 players. It was pretty dead. But I basically turned the whole server around. I turned it around, and I reworked all of his plugins with the help of Mason as well. He was helping me out, and we made the server so much better than what it was. As I started bringing people in, like old players back in, and new ones as well, and that server started popping off because I had the experience. I knew what I was doing. Unlike him, Cubasty, you know, he doesn't know what he's doing, and his solution is just buy, like if his server dies, like let's say 6P starts dying, his solution is, oh, let me just pay a YouTuber and just buy a domain. That's his solution. That's all it is. He's not capable of, you know, starting his own work. I mean, to be honest, I thought like a Sparky was gonna stay dead when I got it because like it wasn't looking good. But yeah, no, I reworked the whole server, and it came out pretty good. But yeah, you know you can't start off a server with a dupe. Like you remember, like 5B5T. You know they have the crafting dupe. I remember they kept removing it. They kept removing the dupe, and the server would immediately die, and now we're basically stuck with it.
One point something else. You know this how in the summer when we had Samu on and we got 188.
Yeah.
That the only reason the server is not that big right now is because of the frame dupe in the summer. That's why.
Yeah.
They have when you have the expectation of a dupe from the beginning, then people are going to expect it always, and they'll leave when you don't have it. So,
the original 8B8T, not this one, but the one that was owned by Bait originally, and that server was around since 2018, I believe, 2018, and that server's always had the dupe. It was known for its dupe. It's 32Ks. Yeah.
Bait? Guess what? Bait only made that server because guess what? Bait used to play my first server.
0B, yeah.
Bait only made his server because of me. Think about all the stuff because of me that happened in this community. Servers made, things done.
Yeah. And
it's crazy.
That server was well known for its dupes and 32Ks. And let's say if he got rid of that, his server would have been dead. Would have been gone. Long gone. But that server was super popular for a while. because it was known for its dupe, its exploits, and all that. But
And wait, Q. You made your server because you played mine.
yeah, I remember I made mine cracked because of yours. You were telling me how that was like the new method.
It was the new method because
Yep.
Mason. As soon as I saw Mason's server for the first time, I was like, my eyes lit up, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, because Mason, like, we gotta give him credit, like, because of him.
He was the
You know,
first cracked server.
Yeah, I mean, there was probably a couple around before, but they were never as big as L2X9. Never. Like, he basically like kicked it off. Him and Adrian. They basically kicked it off, and that's how we have all these servers today. And if it weren't for him, there would be no 6B that there is now. So, because this server could have just still been premium, like back how it used to be.
It probably would.
And
it was big. There was time. By the way, people always tell me this. Oh, you only get players because your server's cracked.
Yeah.
Hey, tards. I've had big premium servers before. Okay, I have 6B16. My 6B16.
It was big.
It was big, and it was a premium server before it was cracked.
Yeah, I remember playing. There was an average of 30 players on 50, just like how it is right now.
Over 100 at some point. I remember because John. Remember I had
He redirected it. No, you.
Say old frog instead. Okay.
Old frog.
You can't say that word or we'll get banned by you.
You had the you had the domain and you redirected it to 6B.
I was going on vacation and I saw he just had a big YouTube video drop. And I was like, well, I'm not going to have internet for a couple weeks, so fuck it, let's go. And I came back to a shit ton of players and I was super happy.
Oh, I remember that. I was right when he started Old Frog again.
His server was always like a 20 to 30 player server. Except for 0B0T. 0B0T started out really, really, really tiny. But it got to like 20 to 30 players points. 0B0T was never a big server. 6B16 was a big server. And then 7B7T, big server. 8B18, big server.
Yeah, that whole like era of like 6B premium was like it was a pretty good era. Like
and by the way, the only map I don't still have, and actually I do still have it, I have all of my maps back. I have all the original maps. Okay? The maps are they may have gotten reset, but I still have them. The original 0B0T map, do you know what, my city server?
Yeah.
That's the original 0B0T map that I built that city on. It's a copy of it. An old copy. And then, 6B16, my 6B16, the original 6B16, the real one, that we have the map, right? It's online, do/6B16. There.
We don't have the 2020 map though, I'm assuming, right?
We're missing that one, yeah. But we have the 7B map, it still exists, you're playing on it right now. There was, like, 0B0T had, like, 5 map resets, okay? That was, like, my starter server. It was never a very large server. It was me figuring out how to run a Minecraft server. And then 6B6T was me learning some stuff, and I got big. And then 7B7T was when I really learned how to get big really quick. And I was figuring out how to manage a large amount of players. Right?
Yeah.
I was doing it very well. I was maintaining it up until Cubasty fucked me over. And then 8B18 it's a struggle because of Cubasty and his non-stop fucking rip-off of my server and his attacking of me, okay? It's a struggle. But It's not dead. It's had over 200 players before, and I don't have any reason to doubt that it wouldn't get over 200 players, or at least in the high hundreds this summer, or maybe even on Christmas break. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's upon the horizon? Okay, but it's not dead. It peaked at 77 players today. That's enough for me to not want to shut it down, and I wouldn't shut it down even if it had 0 players. But
And mine is pretty small, but I'm keeping it up because it has history.
now, like YouTube, like, oh, Celsius one. That's a content. That's a fucking video right there, man. Like, eyeball will want to click that because it's different. It's a different kind of content. You make so many 2BTT videos now. Just make videos about something that's not 2BTT, but it's also related to anarchy. It would work. I know it would. Algorithmically, I can't say the word because I'm autistic, but it would work. Okay.
Even though my server's been on and off for years, this time it's gonna stay. Like, I have no reason to shut it down, and I'm in charge of it now.
Make a video about the history of my server. There's a whole fucking wiki right there, and there's 8 years of history. Whole wiki. Many people to ask about it. Drama between server owners too.
Backdoors.
Like, that is the kind of stuff that people want to watch.
There's backdoors.
And I know I can probably make the content myself, but I'm terrible. I don't have a good enough computer. So I'm going to do podcasts instead.
MP3s only.
Not MP3. I want the video.
Yeah.
We do video podcasts like Joe Rogan.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No, my server, like, it's gonna stay up, and the 5-year is gonna be next year.
I get why he's more suspicious. Like, from his perspective, he has to be responsible, or people like that have to be responsible where they direct people to. But right now he's being irresponsible by not actively pointing out the fucking bullshit that Cubase's doing and promoting the good servers that aren't doing that shit. Because I'm telling you right now, like, you think I don't want to get some guy with a huge fucking botnet to slap the shit out of him? I do, but I'm not doing it because of my principle and my fucking religious beliefs. Okay? Like, he is terrible. What he does, it's non-stop, and it bothers me to the point where I can't even enjoy my own hobby, and I sit there and I just take it over and over and over and complain about it publicly while he gaslights me. Ridiculous. Help me, man.
It's
Like,
just insane.
and you know what? I've even prayed for him too. I've prayed for him. I've tried to point him to Jesus. It doesn't work. He doesn't care. He's never going to care. He only cares about the money and the
It's
clout.
greed.
That's it.
Pure greed.
What?
It's pure greed.
Pure greed. That's what it is. I just want to be left alone. I'm happy with my server size. Yeah, I'm sure it could be bigger.
But the players enjoy it, even if it's a small amount, big
I'm
amount
here.
or not. Still, they enjoy it.
77 players to me in 2016, I would shit my pants, okay? I'm just saying. 77 players I got today, and that's great. I'm happy, okay? I still can't afford to pay the VPS bill.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's just crazy. This fucking, or basically anarchy is just pointing to now.
But anyway, what I was trying to say is I get why Celsius One and YouTubers like that are wary of making videos on clones because they have to be careful of where they point people to. But 6v16 is sitting there doing what they're doing right now, what we just fucking talked about, and what their fucking 50% botted server, where it's like there's probably 100 bots. I bet. I'm willing to bet it's 100 because his player count. Go back. Is there web? Actually, you know what? Alt tab out of that shit and go to the fucking web browser and go look at. There's websites that track player count over time. He essentially doubled his player count overnight. Like his bots, or within a few days, he doubled it, and there was no like big massive video that came out or anything. It's just it happened. It just happened randomly. After my server had just been busy being huge. Remember?
Yeah, no, it's just funny. He just connects all his bots once you're doing big. And we also didn't mention how he literally has a GitHub project called Server Wrecker, which is what he's probably using on AP.
What, Server Wrecker?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that tool is specifically programmed by Piston Master to try and fuck with me. I know it was. Like,
Yeah.
and he
doesn't even, try to hide it. It's all there.
the kind of shady stuff he does. Like, I guarantee you, he has a bunch of secret exploits he keeps secret too. He does. I know he probably does that. Like, if I found a crash exploit, I would immediately patch it in ABAT core and report it to paper. He probably doesn't do that.
Nope. Keeps it to himself.
Yeah, he's a selfish asshole, and he will use it against other people. Like, we all try to work together. Like, literally. Even Constantian uses anarchy exploit fixes made by Mumu. But Ginkgo ruined it.
Yeah, Moo doesn't develop it anymore. He gave up.
Ginkgo ruined it.
Yeah. No, that whole plugin's just basically 6v60 oriented. And here, let me tell you this. Half of the features that are in Anarchy exploit fixes were made for his Sparkia. Moo originally made it for his server, but since he started helping me out and he became a dev for mine, that whole plugin basically became his Sparkia core. So he's literally running. Cubase's basically running a core plugin that has features that were made for my server.
Like, do you see what I'm saying? How his server's just a conglomeration of our stuff?
Yep, it's literally what it is.
It's fucking dumb.
Your name, your brand. I remember he used your icons for a while.
He's violating my copyright. Salsy1, if you ever watch this, he's violating my fucking copyright. Please help me. I am broke, man. I'm 13K in debt.
It's also,
I don't have money to do this.
Back when me and Cubasty would talk, I always had these ideas, because he would help me with his Sparkia 2 for a while. I've had these ideas, and guess what he's done? All these ideas that I've spoken to him about, he's implemented them in 6v60 throughout the years. He's not had one original idea. Not once. 6v60 is just built off stuff that we've talked about or made. There's nothing original that he's done. And people, it's funny how I see these players, like his players, like clown on me for everything. I'm like, part of your server wouldn't exist if it weren't for me.
Literally. It literally wouldn't exist if it wasn't for me.
Not just like us, like Mason, Sev, a lot of people. A lot of people were involved.
And they did a lot of skidding on their end.
Yeah.
But us, our stuff is 100% original because we're competent.
I don't remember what it was I was talking about with him a while ago. But I was talking to him about this idea I had like years ago, and I see it get implemented onto 6B.
What was it?
I don't even remember, but it was a whole like combination of things. I remember I talked about making like our own like chat plugin similar to 2B2T's, like an exact copy, because I liked how 2B2T's chat plugin worked. And then guess what I see? The same exact plugin implemented onto 6B. After, I think like me and Piston Master worked on implementing it to his Sparkia. Half of the plugins that are on 6B right now are plugins that were made for his Sparkia. It's it's just funny.
I have a theory about something. Julia was paid for by the owners of 2B2T.
Yeah. Hey,
I guarantee it. Paper would have never made that unless the people who run 2B2T said something or paid for it. 100% bet.
Yeah,
Or 90%.
it was probably worked like in a huge like collaboration thing. Some people got big cuts out of it.
You know how the paper MC people are like. They were not gonna, like. I bet you they made a try to make it closed source, but paper's like, no, not doing that.
No, yeah, they're like, the deal is, it has to be open source, or no, we're not making this. So I bet he was like all pissed about it.
Curtis.
Guys, I know, I don't want these other servers using it.
I think Curtis is just the guy running it.
I'm pretty sure he owns it. Also, here's the thing. So you remember the Camping Rusher video?
Yeah.
The thumbnail is updated, and the title. The thumbnail has the new 2B2T logo, and the title has changed. Super weird, right?
What, the first Camping Rusher video on 2B2T? Let me see it. Send me the video.
Camping Rusher.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna fucking drink some water.
Look, it's got such a wasteland feel.
Fuck, I hate tap water.
Look at that.
That's the first video he ever put on 2B2T?
Yep.
Why would he change the title in the...
I don't know, but it makes it suspicious, because all he uploads is Fortnite videos now. Why would all of a sudden he just randomly change the thumbnail and title of his first video?
I don't know.
You think Curtis probably told him to?
Maybe.
Or maybe he's just a shareholder?
I personally think that Rusher owns it. And that Curtis is just like... Because Curtis is like a developer... It's like admin guy, like he's like the...
I mean, who knows? Because I remember I read his LinkedIn and...
He worked for the Archon, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the person... Like, what he did on Archon, that's the person he is for Rusher. Or all that kind of stuff. So, Rusher probably bought 2B2T, and now Curtis is managing it, running it, and can take care of it, doing server admin things. Yeah. That's what I think it is.
Well, here's a thing. So, I remember I found it was like this LinkedIn for Curtis, and it had 2B2T listed, and he said he was the operations manager, and it said that he works closely with shareholders to increase priority queue sales. So, and here's the thing, it doesn't say like a shareholder. It says shareholders. So there's multiple people.
Okay, well, it's probably... I bet you some of those large 2B2T YouTubers are in on that shit, which is a load of horse shit.
MC.
Fuck you guys. And your cash cow.
I wouldn't be surprised if the entire, like when Housemaster reverted all of that stuff during the 1.19 update. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just an entire, marketing scheme just for attention.
Yeah, I guarantee you it was.
Just so people would be like, oh my god, fuck Tubi, they did all this. Just so people could talk about it more, make all these videos, and then just revert it like nothing happened.
You didn't realize that it would actually backfire on them, and people would dig more deep into who actually manages
Into who was, yeah, because people were literally looking into who, who's actually behind everything, when all of us have been saying for years, it's Curtis. It's funny.
Hey, Kurt.
Like, they all fought, like, and then he tries to play it off, like, oh no, I'm Housemaster.
Give me the source code to the Q plugins. I won't release that. I just want it. I want to see how it works. So I can copy it. I'm joking. I already made my own, and you know it. And you fucking copied it. You copied one of my features from it, fucker. I know you did.
Which one was it?
The hover over the server list for the position.
Ah.
I added that to Lee's Bungee Q first. Lee's Bungee Q is such a fucking spaghetti monster. It's really funny. What is those arrows?
That's what it is. He takes all the ideas we made into a shit server.
That's what it is. All ideas we made into a shit server with bot.
Shoot.
I think it's funny though. After I added to Lee's Bungee Q, after I added that fancy position, when you hover over the server list thing, and then it gets added to the 2B2D queue, I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because he rewrote the entire plugin for Velocity.
Oh yeah, I bet you he did. Yeah. You're right. Yep.
Because it doesn't work the same.
Yeah, I need Lee's Bungee Q needs to be for Velocity. We need Lee's Velocity Q, okay? But unfortunately, my programmer self doesn't want to fucking do that.
But Mindlord would develop it or not.
Yeah, he would. I just have to pay him. Lee's Velocity Q. It's not to add a Q, it would have to work differently for 8B, because I want it to, when you're in the lobby, I want it so when you transfer to another server, it puts you in the queue first, so you can't, so let's say the server gets invaded by a large streamer, right? And 1,000 players connect. They all instantly put into the queue, then slowly let into the lobby, right?
Yeah.
Or, actually, I want them to log in first. They have to do login stuff first to integrate it with the auth plugin I use, which I'm not going to say it because I don't want people looking into it. It would integrate with the API of it so that you log in first and then it sends you to the queue. And then to the lobby. And then once you're in the lobby, you can pick whatever fucking server you want to go onto. And then it puts you in the queue again. And then sends you to the server. So it's just to prevent too many people from connecting at once, because you don't want that, because you can, all it takes is some big YouTuber to stream raid you, and then they can just overload your lobby instantly if you only have one lobby. I have to set up multiple lobbies. I have to set up I'm trying to figure out how to set up multiple lobbies. It's pretty easy, I'm pretty sure. I'm just too lazy to figure it out.
Oh,
but
forgot to say, Piston Q. I wonder how that plugin was built. I wonder what he used to make Piston Q. You know, I wonder what he used to make that plugin.
Make what plugin?
Piston Q. The fork of Lee's Bungee Q. He skidded.
What do you mean, Piston Master?
Yeah, Piston Q. His Q plugin.
Oh, I thought you were saying Piston Cube.
No, Q. No. His
Guy.
Q plugin.
It's so close to his name. Yeah, Piston Q is literally a skid of my plugin. And he gives no credit at all. I should report that to GitHub.
Oh, he claims that Lee's Bungee Q is very bulky and lacks many features. I mean, it's old. It hasn't been maintained.
Well, yeah. His thing's been maintained since last week.
Yeah.
I don't really fucking give a shit.
Yeah. This plugin sucks anyway. It's basically built off of your work.
And his thing says Pride Community.
Oh my god.
That's basically it. I don't know how to explain this to you, Cube. Like, when you really start having faith, like, the world will hate you. They're my ops. Well, not my ops. They're God's ops. Like, spiritually, they're using them to mess with me because they won't believe. They'd rather believe in a coincidence. So that's why I'm being constantly attacked. It's not just online stuff anymore either. It's in real life too. Like, how do I explain this to you? Like, I don't actually want to go sleep around with girls anymore like I used to. But now all these girls are trying to sleep around with me, and it's fucking annoying. You know what I mean? It's annoying. It's a spiritual attack. It's real. And people can deny it all they want. But it's the truth that Jesus is real. And
Yeah, he's just...
I've experienced it. Like, I know. And that's why they're so busy attacking me.
Yeah.
And they won't let up.
Can keep attacking all they want.
Listen to me either.
It's funny.
Leave the wrath for him. That's what you're supposed to do. And I mean, creator of the whole fucking universe versus some little furry queer in his basement.
Oh, this guy.
Who skinned my Q plugin and calls it bulky. That is. I'm not a good programmer. I'm not trying to be a programmer. I don't want to be.
I'm gonna make a pull request.
I'm CEO. I'm ideas guy. I'm trying to make things a reality by managing people to make that thing a reality. That's what I do. Like Sev, I got him to create a PvP server. Now look, I have a PvP server that's coded from scratch. APAT core didn't exist a year ago. Now it exists. I made it a thing. I'm the ideas guy.
Yeah, Cubase, he has no ideas. None. There, I submitted a pull request.
A pull request on his thing for what?
Yeah, so on his it says it's very bulky and lacks features. I submitted a pull request to say Lee's Bungee Q. This is a fork of Lee's Bungee Q which is outdated instead of calling it bulky like how he claims to be. Bulky.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Q. I coded that in fucking high school computer science class, okay? And you know how funny this is? Taking how funny this is. You know what it feels like to be at school and hear people talking about your server, and nobody know that it's your server, and then you just walk up, you play that server? And like, do you know that I own it? And they had no idea.
You had people who would play your server in school?
Yes, I was in computer science class, and I overheard this random guy say, "Oh, I'm talking about 6B16 when I ran it back in the day."
Yeah.
And this is when I coded Lee's Bungee Q for 6B16, my 6B16. Anyway, but I was randomly in computer science class. I'm like, "You know what 6B16 is?" And he's like, "Yeah, I play it all the time." And I'm like, "That's my server, man." And he didn't believe me.
So you went on.
I was like, no, I'm the fucking owner, bro.
You went on and showed it to him, or like that you
You,
had
you,
up?
you encountered that where you went in your school, some random person was playing
Oh, yeah.
ABT.
Yeah, 7B at the time. I remember they were playing 5B. And I was like, yo, I know the guy who owns that server. He was like, what? No way. He was like, yeah, because you remember how I had 5b5t.tk or something? And he bought .org. Because I was too late to buy the domain.
Oh. I actually changed the server icon on the server list, right? Okay, good.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, there was this guy playing on, he was playing on 5B, and I asked him, oh, do you know about 7B7T? He was like, oh yeah, I play on that server. He logged on. He had like all these kits and stuff. I was like, bro. Like, I tell him, yeah, I know the guy who owns that server. He told me he played on 10B10T, which was owned by Goose, and it used to be owned by Goose and Win and Piston Master at some point. But yeah, no, it's crazy. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, I know the owners of those servers.
It's so weird. Like, I remember when I first got into this, like, I played Anarchy WW and 4B4T and a little bit of 9B. And then I was like, after 4B kept getting messed with, and I got sick of how many times it was getting reset. I decided to make my own server, and then I ended up doing the same fucking thing. You don't realize it's like, difficult because the community can be so fucking toxic where they convince you to do really dumb stuff because you're a dumb kid that will believe it. And it's really funny. Like, looking back, like, people would tell me to reset the map because there's illegal items. And I would actually do it. I did it one time. And that was the 0B0T era. I was like 14 when I started.
Jeez. Yeah, that's the one era I didn't play. Wasn't around.
I'm 22 now. Isn't that crazy? Wait. 14. Or... I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yeah. 8 years I've been doing that. I was 14 when I started. 22 minus 8 is 14. That's fucking crazy.
Alright, so that is the end of the first episode of this podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you listened through this entire thing, it was pretty long, but we plan on maybe making shorter episodes, and there will be better audio quality, as I was completely unprepared when I recorded this and my settings were all over the place. But next episode will be better quality because, we literally just decided to do this last minute and just hit record. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time.